Catherine, it's great to have you here today. I wanted to have this conversation for a long time. As the executive director of the Social Communication Foundation, tell me a little bit about why you felt it was so important to start the organization.
Well, Bob, all during the years of my career, I've been in schools, I've been in the clinical field, and I've been an advocate for parents. It was very clear to me that we have a terrific rise in kids who have communication difficulties that never get a chance to practice social skills, even if social skill training becomes available to them.
And I have two kids,
Mm-hmm.
and they fortunately don't have the communication issues, but a lot of watching what goes on in the school systems, there's some great programs, but what you offer through the foundation really goes above and beyond what the schools offer and what traditional therapy offers.
It's supplemental service. So for a therapist, there's only so much we can do for a child in our office. We can't change their experience in the school environment.
So schools, that therapy is one-on-one therapy?
Yeah, it's one-on-one therapy.
Okay.
Even if that happens within the school building, we can't change their experience in the external hallways or classrooms.
Okay.
Now, also, if a child gets social skills training, there's no place for them to really practice.
So the foundation's programs really take it from the school has done what it can do, the therapists have done what they can do, and this is a process that allows that child to take the knowledge and use it with peers.
Absolutely.
Why did you feel so strongly about developing this, and how is it different?
Well, Bob, we have kids that go from kindergarten all the way through senior year in high school who have these challenges, who never get a chance to practice before we send them out into the world of independence.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the gap that we want to fill. Any training that they get, they still need a chance to practice in a real world setting. And the kids who have good social skills are more than happy to come out and serve, whether it's a community service option for them or just because they care.
So you're recruiting kids who communicate well,
Yes.
and you're getting referrals from parents like myself who may or may, I don't have a child with a social communications disability or an issue, but I do have friends who do. So a referral from a parent, a referral from a therapist who wants additional practice for
Yes.
their patients,
Yes.
or schools who realize they've kind of reached the end of what they can do at 3:45 or 3:30 in the afternoon and want more for their kids. That's the group of people you're trying to reach.
Absolutely.
And then, so in an after-school setting, you're putting these kids in a room with a specific. You explained it to me. It sounds like a pretty robust curriculum,
Yes.
and putting them through this process. And it's how many weeks?
It's 15
Okay.
weeks one semester, 15 weeks another semester. The
Okay.
parent can continue at their choice.
So the biggest issue for these kids is they may be going through therapy and work.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they just don't know. I guess they don't know what they don't know.
Yes. The folks with the challenges?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a matter of trying to understand the invisible realities that you and I understand. A lot of our social accomplishment occurs by reading between the lines.
So that's
By
what you mean
reading
about
what's-
social cues or
Yes,
inability to. Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
And they don't. For them, they don't even exist.
Um, One of the things that you made mention to was that bullying also plays into it. And a lot of kids, not only do they have communication difficulties, but there's bullying and feelings of bullying and isolation.
Well, Bob, I would say over the last 35 years, the type of child with a quote unquote disability has changed in our schools. We only began having children with disabilities in our schools in the 70s. And then now we're noticing a great deal more children with a disability that's almost invisible to everyone. And so these children may appear a little bit off or a little bit the term that a lot of folks use, which is kind of a negative term, is that they're weird. But
Okay.
they're very bright, caring individuals who just don't get the social situation in the same way, and they get targeted quite a bit. They get pushed into a locker. They get made fun of. There's some great documentaries out there too. But they just don't know what to do. They can't respond to it effectively because they can't read social cues.
How does your program physically different?
Well, that's certainly the first, I think, remarkable difference is that we have this young people who have normed or, no social communication challenges at all who are with us. We usually go for equal numbers, one on one,
Okay.
and then a group is about 6 on 6.
Okay.
And we sit at a conference table and we're an instructional learning environment, hopefully a very fun one. And the kids are learning all about the difference. What is it all about? How does it come about? What is theory of mind? All these different things. How does it affect you? How can I, as a communicator who has good skills, what can I do that helps us improve our communications so that it's not always just about you who has a different way of thinking? What do I need to do to help facilitate your progress? And then underneath the instruction about what causes these differences is an overarching set of goals in which the kids keep progress themselves in the meeting of how well they're doing helping each other.
By having the kids see 6 or 8 kids, and not necessarily one-on-one that we work together all the time,
Right.
but see multiple different ways of different people communicating the issue, it gives them more of an exposure to different communication methods that they can adopt. Is that
And Barbara, you asked me why 6. And
6
then
or 8? Yeah.
or
Is the point to let the 6 kids or the 8 kids that have the communication difficulties see 6 or 8 kids that don't working through the issues? Is that part of the process?
so that they see another 6 students who are there for them, who do not have social difficulties. So they get a rich experience of others like themselves, and a rich experience of others different than themselves who communicate differently.
Okay.
And that team process is what is very exciting.
Which is what you call I think it's the inclusion teaming process.
Exactly.
Which
yes.
is your trademark term for.
That's exactly right.
And that
yes.
helps. The goal of all of this is see other people communicating, learn more ways to communicate, and then by doing the team approach, it helps them in the world because they're working with other people.
Yes. In the world for independence and for work. So even if most folks come in and they'd love their child to have a friend, what better way to learn to have a friend than to learn how to communicate, even if you do that differently?
I felt it was important to be involved, not only as a parent, but just it's a mission because it's important for these kids to get the help that they need. And from everything that I've done research-wise, it appears that that's missing.
Right.
There's a gap.
It's very similar, Bob, to the academic learning centers that are available for kids after school, like tutoring and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Those centers pick up where schools leave off. We do the same thing in the area of social development.
I've got to believe that part of the reason that it's kind of been slow for you to grow is I would imagine that some of those folks may see you as competition.
Yes.
When really you're not.
We're not. We wouldn't want any child coming into our program to leave their individual therapy work or any other work that they're doing that advances their progress. We are simply supplemental, providing them the real world experience.
I hope anybody who's watching this who either has a child,
I hope so.
is a therapist, is a school official, can see that this is different. And I know what I've seen, heard, and then talked to you and seen a couple of kids that have graduated from the program and talking to them who are now members of your board.
Yes.
They've done so well that they've actually testified it.
Yes.
Look at the smile on your
Yes.
face. It's got to make you feel good.
Oh, it's a joy.
That's awesome. Well, hopefully we can fill some more programs.
Thank you, Bob.
Oh, thank you.